So good morning. So I was thinking this week about the power of forgiveness and how we think of it as condoning someone's actions when it's really not. It is letting go of any resentment that we have inside of us. So a good little story about that is a story about two monks. They were walking along a river, and one was the teacher and the other was the student. And they're going along the river and they come across this woman, this of nobility, clearly, and she insists that they help her across the river. Her carriage broke down. She needs to get across. She was very rude to them and very ungrateful. So the master monk picked her up, brought her across the river, came back. She treated him horribly. And then the two monks continued on their journey. The younger monk is thinking, whoa, wait a minute. How can he not say anything? How can he not express what he's feeling? She treated him like, rubbish. How can he, and so they continued, but he kept quiet and they continued on their journey. And a couple of miles later, the student just could not hold it in any longer. And he turned to his guru and he said, Guruji, please, I don't understand it. How can you accept what that woman did, how she treated you? I feel it. And he said, well, that's because I put her down on the other side of the river hours ago, and you've been carrying her around ever since. So it's a great lesson in the idea of what forgiveness is, in that you're carrying around resentment and things that, and you let it go by opening up a door to your heart. With that in mind, let's close our eyes for our pranayama, our breath. Come into your comfortable sukhasana, your easy seat, and just follow your breath. And think about, as you deepen your breath, think about breathing in a forgiveness, letting go of the resentment and anger that you may be harboring from something. And sometimes we need to forgive ourselves. So speak to yourself as well. After your next exhale, return to your natural breath. And gently open your eyes to take in the light. So let's begin by opening up our necks, because we hold so much tension in our necks. So let's work on the part of the body that we probably neglect a lot. So bring your right ear to your right shoulder and feel the stretch on the left side of your neck. Breathe into it as if you could direct your breath directly to that spot. Breathe into it 3 times and let it go. Bring your head to center and over to the other side, stretching, feeling the stretch on the right side of your neck. And breathe in to that stretch. And then bring your head back to center. Send your nose to the sky. On an exhale, chin to chest. And continue this kind of yes motion, big yes, at your own pace. And notice where you're feeling the tension. And when your head is back to a neutral position, remember that spot where you feel the tension and breathe into it. Just breathe into it. And then let it go. So we're going to start in a child's pose today. So come into your child's pose. And then if they're not already, send your arms overhead, extended child's pose. Stretch them away from you. So walk your fingers without moving your hips. Walk your fingers a little bit away from you so you can feel a stretch in your underarm. Then place the palms of your hands flat on the mat. Look between your hands. Lift your hips and come forward, bringing your heart between your arms. Push the mat away from you with your hands, keeping your shoulders from scrunching up. Use your abs here, your whole core network. On an exhale, send your hips back towards your heels. You don't have to go all the way because we're going to come right back to heart between hands. Good. Your legs are lengthened behind you. Good. Turn under your toes. Send your hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Send your heels towards the mat. You're energetically pushing the mat away with your hands, your chest to your thighs. Place your right knee under your right hip. Swivel your left foot. Fan open with your left hand. Then send your left arm alongside your left ear and your left toes in the opposite direction. Stretching your whole left side body. And then bring your hand back down, bring your knee back down. And we'll do that on the other side. But first, turn under your toes. Let's start again from downward facing dog. Now place your left knee under your left hip. Swivel your right foot on the mat. Fan open. Stretch your right arm alongside your right ear, your right toes going in the opposite direction to stretch your full side body. And then bring it all down. All right, come to child's pose. Your fingers are walking away, so leave your right palm on the mat and bring your left fingers to the mat. Come onto your fingertips. And then you're going to thread your right hand, your arm, underneath your left arm. You're going to be lifting your left arm a little to make some room. Walk your right fingers away, look under your arm. Maybe you can get your shoulder closer to the mat and you might have to lift your hips to do that. So open up your shoulder a little bit more. Release your right hand, arms straight overhead. And we'll do that on the other side. This time, come up on your right fingertips, thread your left arm under your right and look under your right arm. Unthread, stretch both hands, both arms overhead. Lift your hips and slide your hands towards your knees. Come to stand on your knees. Okay. Good. Bring your hands to your hips, to your pelvic bone. Yeah, good. So you were doing this so that you keep your hips facing forward as you twist from your waist on an exhale to the right. Inhale to center, exhale to the left. Inhale center, exhale right. Inhale, exhale. Come to center. Release your arms. In order to forgive, we have to open our hearts widely, allow a little vulnerability. So open your arms nice and wide, your palms facing forward. Send your heart up with an upper back bend. So put less of your lower back, more of your upper back in. So you're going to put both, but put the emphasis on your heart. And you can bring your arms down by your side. And then lift them back up, send your hips to your heels, place your palms on the mat to come into a pose of introspection, bringing your heart inward. To focus on yourself. On an inhale, spread your wings, open your heart. Exhale, bring it back down. Once more, open your heart, fly up, bring your arms down this time. And bring the heels of your hands to your back waist. Send your elbows away. And we'll do a deeper back bend. Send your hips a little bit forward, so staying over your knees, and open up your heart a little bit more. And then release. Bring your hands to the mat. So come to your table. So you know your alignment here, wrists under shoulders or a little bit before if you have wrist issues, and knees under hips, arms rotated outward. And we'll do some cats and dogs here. So on an inhale, you're going to pour your spine towards the mat, making a U shape with your spine. The arms are still straight. And exhaling, arching your spine to the sky. And continue at your own pace. And the next time you're in your cat spine, bring your hips to your heels. Okay, don't get too comfortable. You're going to slide your hands to your knees, come back up onto your knees. All right. Let's start with our right leg. And if you have a couple of blocks or one block, there's blocks back there if you need them. Or you can bring your hands to the mat. I find that it helps a little when I send my right leg forward. Okay. So props are good things, yeah. You're gonna walk your right foot away. The more of a stretch you have in your back thigh, the more you'll work your quadricep muscles as we swing our arms up, slide our hips forward. Bring your arms down, straighten your leg. Inhale, slide forward. Exhale, straighten your leg. Once more, inhale and exhale. Just bring your leg back. So bend your knee first, slide it back. Use the block if you have one to use. All right. Let's do the other side. Why did I throw my block away? So step your right leg forward. Yeah. Walk it away. Arms alongside your hips and swing your hips forward. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, swing forward. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, forward. You know you can stop at any time. One last time. Take your block, walk your left foot in, and bring your knees back together. All right. So you're going to come back to table. You're going to place your forearms on the mat and check that your elbows are under your shoulders. Good. And I named this pose Tankasana because it reminds me of those little cars we used to play with when we were kids, the Tonka toys that slides back and forth. So slide it along the track, along the road, sending your whole torso forward and then back. And notice that all of your joints are working here, all your major joints. And then pause. And then slide one leg back and then the other leg back to come down onto your belly, but you still have your elbows under your shoulders, yeah, in Sphinx. So Linda, elbow under shoulder, a little bit closer together. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So, and okay, so we're in Sphinx pose now. We can, check out the kingdom. And then you can bring one hand down, the other on top of it. Your elbows this time come out to the sides, and you can bring your forehead on to the pillow you made with your hands. Makarasana, the crocodile pose. So the crocodile is going to open its jaw right now. So you're going to press into your forearms just a little to lift your head and look forward, opening up your jaw. Exhale, bring your forehead or the crown of your head down toward your hands, and then open up the jaw again. And bring it down. Once more, open that fierce jaw. And this time, rest. You're going to look up. You're going to slide your hands alongside your breast. We're going to do, so your elbows are pointed back behind you. Yeah. And we're going to do little baby cobras. So Bhujangasana, the cobra pose. So on an inhale, you're not going to push into the mat with your hands. You just want to lift your head and shoulders just a little bit away from the mat. And then melt back down. Again, lift your head and shoulders. Melt back down. Once more, baby cobra, Bhujangasana. And bring it down. So this time we're going to come up just a little more. And this, in order to keep this gentle, you're going to push into the mat and come up, but probably just a little bit. So your elbows are still very bent. Your belly button is on the mat. Your waist may be on the mat for King Cobra. And melt back down. Inhale back up. So we did a King Cobra, we need a Queen now. And melt back down. Bring your hands under your forehead. Back to Makarasana, the crocodile. Right. Send your arms straight out in front of you overhead. And you're going to roll over onto your right side using your right arm as a pillow. You can bend your elbow and bring your head on the pillow, or you can actually go get a pillow and use a pillow. So your legs are straight and long, you're on your side. Your left hand is in front of your chest as like a kickstand holding you. And we're going to lift our top leg 6 times up and down. Keep your foot flexed. And it goes up any amount. And try to push your edge just a little bit. So if you thought like going up a few inches was your range, see if you can go just a little bit more. Call on your core muscles to help you with that. Surprising how easily how much that helps. And then bring your leg back down. Lift your top leg a little bit away from the bottom, and then send it forward just a little bit, and then send it back behind you a little bit. If you want to get crazy and make it a lot, go ahead and make it a lot. I'm doing a little. Good. And then bring it back down, and we will do that on the other side. All right. Rest your head on your arm. You have your tripod, good. And legs straight, foot flexed, and lift your leg about 6 times. Any height. It's up to you. You can push a little bit. Good. And when you're done with your 6 times, bring your legs back together again. And take a breath, and then send your leg a little bit forward and then a little bit behind. Yeah. Hitting your hip sockets. And then when you're done with that, bring one leg on top of the other. Okay, good. All right. So now you're going to place your left foot on the mat next to your right foot, right? And see if you can turn your, or whatever foot you're on. I'm sorry, I'm on the opposite side. So let me turn around. So your left leg is on the bottom, right? Okay, so let me say that again. Bring your right leg on the mat outside your left leg. All right, good. And try to turn your foot so it's facing your other foot. Right. And then you're going to send both arms overhead. Good. Maybe lift your head away from the arm to create a fallen tree pose on your side on the floor. Yeah. And then bring it back. You're going to roll over on to the other side. And we'll do the same thing here. Place your left foot this time on the mat. Arms overhead, lift your head away from your other arm for a fallen tree. And then bring your arm back down, release everything, and roll back onto your belly. Come back to Makarasana. That's the crocodile pose with your hands under your forehead. And when you get there, roll your hips from side to side. Just roll them back and forth. And then come to stillness, come to center, and slide your hands under your shoulders. Straighten your arms, begin to straighten your arms, come up onto your knees, and make your way up to stand very slowly. All right. Okay, good. Come to your mountain. Mountain, mountain. Okay. So your feet rooted in the ground, crown of your head up, send your shoulders forward, back down, arms fall naturally by your side. So we're standing tall, feeling the feeling of a mountain, yeah? It's good, very good, very good, really good. Okay, good. Gather. Exhale, bring that energy to your heart. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Great. All right. So we're going to do some balancing poses. And a little different than we're used to doing, right? So we're used to doing a tree or something like that. So we're going to do something a little bit different. So I have to think, because I have to remember what I decided, what I worked out this morning. Okay, let's start this way. Step your right foot back, right? And then come up on the ball of your right foot so that your weight is over your left foot. And you're going to send your arms alongside your body, and you're going to tilt your torso a little bit. You know, imagine that you're on the edge of a pool, you're going to dive in. You might want to bend your left knee just a little bit, bring your arms up overhead, and then lift your right leg up any amount, just a little maybe, to bring your toe to the mat. And then bring your arms down, bring your hand down. Step your left leg back. And again, you're on the edge of the pool. You're getting ready to take a whatever kind of dive this is with your arms up. And you're coming onto the ball of your left foot. And you're going to begin that dive by lifting your left leg just a little bit away from the mat. You can keep your toes touching the mat. And bring it down. Okay. So come onto the ball of your right foot. And you're going to lift it up just a little. Right? And then bring it down, touch your toe to the mat, or you can come on the ball of your foot. And then lift it up again, maybe a little higher this time. And bring it down. One more time, maybe it's higher. And bring it down. Okay. So we're going to do the other side, but make sure your foot is flat on the mat, and it's holding your weight. You only have one leg right now, all right? That's holding you up. So you're going to lift your left leg a little and bring it down. And then a little more and bring it down. And then as far as you comfortably can. Beautiful. And bring it down. Good, good, good. All right. So bend your knees and place your hands on your thighs. And you're going to slide your hands all the way down your legs, down toward your feet. You're going to deepen your squat as much as possible. You're going to keep your fingertips on the mat, or if you have a block, that's even better because it lengthens your arms. That's what I love about these things. They make your arms longer or the floor higher, right? And then you're going to begin to straighten your legs, your hips come up, and your head goes down. So if you didn't have the block, that might be a little difficult, right? So bend your knees again. This time, send your arms back behind you. Yeah. And then bring your fingertips to the mat or a block. Straighten your legs, bow over. You probably feel this in the back of your legs. Your hamstrings and your calf muscles. Bend your knees and then fly out and up and bring your hands to your heart. Okay. So now we're going to do a gentle version of a sun salutation, which means we're not going to move. We're not going to go anywhere. We're just going to stay in one place. All right. I'm so used to facing that way now. I have to reorient myself here. All right. So let's begin. So we send our arms out and up. Exhale, soften your knees, fold over your legs. Inhale, come halfway up, send your arms back alongside your hips or onto your shins or your thighs to help you create that nice long flat back. Bend your knees, fold on an exhale, then fly out and up and down the center arm line. This is called Ardha Surya Namaskar. That's half sun salutation. Once more, inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale halfway, exhale, fold. Inhale, fly out and up and down the center line. Right, good. All right. Okay, good. All right, so just because it's one of my favorite poses, or you can tell me what your favorite pose is and we can do that, but I'm thinking of warrior one, right? So shift your weight to your left foot, step your right foot back. So some of you may prefer a shorter stance. Some may prefer a long stance. It's up to you and your body, right? Your feet are in their own, legs are in their own lane. Very good, everybody. Good, 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 good. All right. Arms along, reaching back behind you like we did before when we opened up our heart. Send your arms overhead into a prayer. Look up. Send your arms down by your side, step forward. Shift your weight to your right leg. And again, step back any distance, as far as you wish. You can always heel toe your front leg a little bit farther if you wish. You know, for some people, that distance doesn't work because of your hips, right? Warrior one. Say your prayer. Bring it down, open your heart. Step forward. All right. And now we're going to make our way back down to the mat. If you have a block or a blanket, and come down onto your back. Your feet are on the mat. If you have a prop like a blanket or a mat, you're going to lift your hips, slide the block under your sacrum, which is just below your waist. Sacrum is what holds your two pelvic bones together. Send one leg up, send the other leg up. You can do this with your hips flat on the mat as well. You can send your arms overhead, straight out from your shoulders in a Shavasana position. Just make it comfortable because this is a very cooling pose. We've done a lot of work. Time to cool. And again, I say this every time. But I am going to say it again. Imagine an invisible wall that your hips and your legs are up against so that they're directly over your hips. And you can come out of this at any time, or you can stay here with me for a little bit longer. So having your legs inverted like this allows excess fluids to drain. It slows your heart rate just a bit, like it does as you're going to sleep. And it improves your blood pressure. It releases endorphins so that when you're done here, you're going to want to run and hug somebody. So now, if you haven't already, bring your feet to the mat, lift your hips if you have something underneath, and make your way into Shavasana. I know I don't have to give you lots of cues for this pose, right? You just want to totally relax on your back. And try and have your arms rotated so your palms are facing upward. And just sink into the earth. Allow your body, your muscles, your joints to reset. Om Namah Shivaya. I surrender to transformation. And I welcome the changes that will lead me to who I am. And I am is your pure essence, that state of love. Take a deep breath and begin to reawaken your body. Roll your head from side to side. Make gentle movements with your hands and your feet. And send your arms overhead, your feet in the opposite direction for a full, big, long body stretch. And then bring your knees into your chest, hug them, and roll from side to side. And then come to center, release your knees and roll over onto whichever side you prefer to come into a fetal position, our pose of rebirth. And then when you're ready, make your way up to sit. So make yourself ready for meditation. Those of you who may be leaving, namaste. Have a wonderful day. You should all have wonderful days too. So come to your seat. If you want to grab a chair if that's more comfortable. Yeah, okay. So everybody has really come to a point where most people, this is hard to stay in this position for 15 minutes, but okay, good. That's so good. All right, so let's, let me tell you first what we're doing requires some explanation. There is this ancient, we've done this before in class, it's an ancient Hawaiian meditation, and it's called Ho'oponopono. And it means changing, bringing pono is reality or real, the real you. So the idea is to bring us back to our original selves, that beautiful, perfect being we all were when we were born, that was filled with love, and that continued to feel that love and appreciation and beauty until stuff got in the way, right? Rules and regulations and scars began to form. So the idea with this is to bring us back to that state. And it is about forgiveness, because it is forgiving yourself that will bring you back to that state of purity, that state of pure, unconditional love. Because you're going to get rid of all that garbage we've accumulated over the years. So that's the purpose. They probably didn't use the word garbage when they described it originally, but the whole idea is to bring us back to our loving selves. And we do that by forgiving ourselves. And here's the beautiful turn with this meditation. As we do that, as we forgive ourselves, our own transgressions and the things that we have had to endure over the years, that love replaces it and it spreads, and you're helping other people as well. So it is a practice of forgiveness that allows you to forgive others as well. So let's begin. So come inside, close your eyes. Take a deep breath and bring your awareness to your heart center, the center of love. Listen to your heart beating, hear it pulsating. And then begin by saying these 4 lines, and I will fill in their meaning as I say them. I am sorry. I am sorry for all my transgressions. I am sorry for moving away from love. I am sorry if I have hurt anyone. I am sorry if I have hurt myself. Please forgive me. Forgive my moving in the wrong directions. Forgive my regrets. Forgive the hurt I have put to others. Forgive me. Please forgive me. Forgive my deepest regrets. Forgive the bad decisions I made. Forgive me. I love you. I love you exactly as you are. I love you. I love this body for which I am so grateful. It allows me to live this life. I love you. I love even your flaws. I love your humanity. I love your forgiveness. Thank you. Thank you for giving me this time, for allowing this moment that I may be able to let go of any resentment. Thank you for allowing me to make mistakes. Thank you for allowing the suffering from which I have learned so much. Thank you for the lessons you have taught me. Thank you for just being. I'm going to repeat those 4 lines and leave space for you to fill in what you would like to express. I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And take a breath. And now we will say those 4 lines, knowing that every time we say them, all of the sentiment and everything you just expressed will always be attached to them. I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Bring your awareness back to your heart center. Bring your hands to your heart and feel your heart beating against your thumbs. And bow your head. And say this deeply, sending this deeply into yourselves. I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Raise your head as you open your eyes. Thank you all for being with me today.